deliberations.
5 minutes.
Well, morning onwards we have been very interesting deliberations, and it is a good learning experience to most of us. I've been sitting and thinking on these issues, the kind of challenges in managing these schools. I think the most important challenge in managing a base school is faculty. Now, where are the faculty resources? They are limited. It's like typically what's happening in the industrial environment, snatching each other's resources. That's what the HR manager is doing. Same thing is happening in the base schools or engineering colleges or other colleges, what we talk about. I snatch your resources, you snatch my resources, is what's happening. So one of the areas where I am concerned is faculty. Like typically we say, most of the successful entrepreneurs are not MBAs. From that I derive. In my view, a good teacher, it's not the qualification which is important, competence is much more important. Because of AICT, UGC, etc. requirement, we may talk about qualification. Is he really committed to the profession of teaching? I always say, a politician can be effective negligent with duties. Nothing will happen, don't worry. A bureaucrat can be effective negligent, nothing will happen. Even a doctor can be effective negligent, at the most he'll kill 1 or 2 patients. But if a teacher is negligent to his duties, he will spoil 1 complete generation. Biggest danger to the society. So hence, in my view, teacher has to be a change agent. He has to bring in the change in the minds of the people, in the minds of the students, and so they be useful to the society. And they should be able to ignite the minds of students. We all keep on talking teaching. No, you just ignite their minds. They will do much more wonders. Teacher has to be change agent, bring in the change which is required for them, and to create the spark, and that's what we need to look at it. I always quote in Telugu. Especially I would like to address the younger faculty. మీరందరూ ఉత్తమ ఉపాధ్యాయులుగా కావాలి, ఉత్తోపాధ్యాయులు కాకండి. ఉత్తోపాధ్యాయులు ప్లీజ్ వెళ్ళిపోండి. యూ నీడ్ టు బి ఉత్తమ ఉపాధ్యాయులు. మీరందరూ బోధించాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. బోధగురువులు కండి, కానీ బాధగురువులు కండి. ఎందుకంటే ఆ క్లాస్లో ఒక స్టూడెంట్ కూర్చుని వీడు ఎప్పుడు పోతాడు అని చెప్పి. Please think of these issues seriously, my younger colleagues. I always like to say that. The other issues to think about is, that's one part of the faculty. The second is institutions. I would like to put it as 3 C's. I think some of the senior colleagues were mentioning. First and foremost is curriculum. We need to look at it. What is the kind of curriculum? Is it really relevant? Is it really useful? When boy or girl goes out of the campus, is what we need to look at it. Second is counseling. We need to do the real counseling. Does he really going to fit into this? I always quote the example of the lady champion who won the Olympics medal was Karna Malishwar. In the school days, her parents found that this girl is showing more interest towards weightlifting than studies. So look at that, do the counseling so the boy or girl can be useful to the society. And third, of course, people talk about soft skills, communications. It's very important. At the end of the professional course, be it BTech or MBA, you cannot say, I don't know communications. So 3 C's has to be looked at: curriculum, counseling, and communication. The other is 3 F's I'd like to talk about it. The faculty. What is the kind of faculty we are employing? Is what we need to look at. And that's what the earlier speaker was talking about. And the kind of fee, is it really justified? And are we delivering to the quality what they are looking for? I know my senior colleague was mentioning the fee what we are charging is not meeting the requirements. Meeting the 2 ends. But also on the other side we need to look at is, are we able to provide the value to it? With due respect to all. And the kind of facilities what we are making available in all these base schools. The kind of infrastructure is there. I think one of our earlier speakers mentioned impressive brochures are printed, but when you go to the ground, something else is there. The facility, what we need to do. I also would like to say on 3 R's, recognition of these colleges, base schools. I'm not saying university recognition or AIC recognition or XYZ recognition. Recognition of the college in the employment market is what we need to build, that kind of image. And second is regularity of the classes. We need to conduct the class regularly. And the ground reality, what we need to look at it. If we ignore these 3 C's, 3 R's, 3 F's, I will say one more thing. During my college days, I was a great fan of late N.T. Ramarao. I also had occasion to work with him as a chief minister, developing some information systems. On one occasion, I asked him, "Sir, what is the secret behind your success?" He told me, "I always believed in my life all through 3 Ds. If I ignore 3 Ds, I land up on 4th D." So I was curious to find out because I was a great fan of him. He said, first and foremost, any profession, he was in acting, we are in teaching, and somebody else in some other profession. First and foremost required is discipline. We as teachers, we have to discipline first. Then only we can tell others. Second, he said, is dedication. And third, he said, is devotion. If you ignore any one of them, defeat is bound to come to you without you asking. As teachers, we need to do more action-oriented teaching. Practical case studies as to be brought in. Take the people to the field and let them conduct some kind of surveys, research, or really do the field work. They have to dirty their hands, then only they can really learn what is the theory, what we are teaching about it. Another issue which I go around as sometimes JED, sometimes chief guest, sometimes guest of honor to all these B school meets. In fact, these days I think twice before I accept that kind of request. Same copy, cut, paste, paper presentations. Why can't we run some kind of practical competitions to them? Let them conduct a marketing activity and then do the whole day business and then end of it show the results. Let them do that kind of thing. We have recently done a small size experiment in IPE where both the students and faculty enjoyed it. At the end of the day, this is a good learning experience. That's what students told us. So probably think about more action on the same thing I keep telling when I go to engineering colleges. They say Tech Fest. I have my own interpretation because there also a number of times now these days I start thinking it's tech frustration. Please don't conduct any more Tech Fest. Conduct technical exhibitions. Bring in the prototypes, bring in the models, demonstrate what you're doing. Like typically in schools we do science exhibitions. Why don't you conduct them? Otherwise same old paper presentations. Nothing is happening there. So can we bring in something action-oriented where students can really learn by doing in practice the things is what we need to do. The other important issue as B schools we need to look at is, unfortunately these days young boys and girls, reading habits have drastically come down. And further worst is writing habits. We need to focus something on reading and writing habits, otherwise it will be a problem for them to get into the corporate world. And sometimes, unfortunately, I found boys feel ashamed to carry a notebook to the college. I don't know, I see boys going to the college without notebook. Sir, they don't even carry that notebook. I don't mind even take that kind of small notebook also. And coming to the challenges to the management, luckily my boss is here. How do we attract and retain a good faculty? It's not an easy job. Short supply in the market. How do we attract the faculty and how do we retain them? Both are challenging to the management. Unless we take care of, it's not the money. Let me tell you, my dear younger faculty, if you're looking for money, please don't continue here. Quit immediately. It is a satisfaction which can give you much more. I am proud to quote one of my professors who taught me, and believe me, during the exams we all burn midnight oil. For that professor's exam, that day we were 18 students in the PG, 16 of us went for a movie. Look at the kind of confidence he created in us. And we wrote the exam, majority of us got in that paper 80% plus. Very recently he passed away. I somehow got the news, I went to their pay my last respects. I was there, huge crowd, somehow I could find a way and then go inside and see the body. And some of his colleagues are still alive and they were commenting, it's the largest student crowd ever gathered to your professors. And usually, typically in Hindu families, the dead body is carried only up to the street and nowadays only to the door end. And then after that put in the TCM van or some ambulance and send the body. For this professor got the honor, the students who were assembled there, because they are not students, they aged 22, 50, 60, some of them. They pleaded with the family, please give us a chance to carry this dead body. They carried the dead body for about 5 miles on their shoulders. That respect, where will you get in the corporate world, my dear friends? Andikanta, Kirti Sheshulan. So if you are looking for money, please don't continue here. But the kind of respect which you can command if you're a good teacher is, whatever may be the position which he or she is enjoying, they will go there ahead of you. That's the greatness of a teacher is. So think about the management has to think about it, how do we attract and how do we retain these kind of teachers who are there. The other issues the management has to look at is building industry institutional interfaces. That's needed where we need to do something about it. And the other is we need to look at where probably the management has to look at it. And recognizing the talent and rewarding the good teachers. That's an area where they need to look at it. How best we can do it. Rewarding not necessarily cash. I'm not for it. Probably I will be the last person to stand in that kind of queue. Some of my colleagues know my mentality. The other probably the challenge for the institutions is unfortunately another area where we neglect. Some of the institutions are surviving for more than 30 years, 50 years, 100 years. We have a beautiful asset which is untapped, unutilized is alumni. They are good for fundraising and fundraising. They are good for helping in getting projects, they are good for helping you in building the industrial interface, they are good for helping you in your students' placements. Do we have a database of alumni which is being constantly updated? Is what an area where probably some of us have to think about is tapping the alumni potential, which can be a good resource where we don't need to look back. The another challenge to the base schools is, why are we modeling our students as employment seekers? Convert them as entrepreneurs and don't make them as employment seekers, make them as employment providers. Is what we need to think about. Because how much jobs they can create in the industry is what the challenge to the base schools. So hence base schools, rightly said by one of the speakers, is we need to connect, we need to share and grow. There is a good part done by the University of Hyderabad and my institution and Usmania University. We need to connect and share the resources and collectively all of us can grow together. Is what we need to think about it. It's a good thing which has been done today. The other thing, corporate relationships. So you were talking about members on the board and so on. And some of us, we do invite members from the industry to be on our boards. Please don't make them ornamental. They have to contribute. And if you put a big CEO, he doesn't have time, why are you putting him? Probably put the second line person and he'll be able to contribute some time to the institution having served on the board. That's what probably you need to think about it. And the next point which one of our earlier speakers did talk about is skills, soft and hard, yes. Sir, hard skills are very easy to impart. Hard skills are soft and soft skills are hard to impart. Thank you.
To chair this session, and which has been given which has given such a thought-provoking ideas, insights, and observations, and also the what you call suggestions. One suggestion that has come up is to organize programs together. This is something which is moving towards from good to great. This is something which is very, very important. We should have this type of understanding. Unfortunately, we empower people, but no results come forth. We believe in empowerment, but our people down the line, they are not gearing themselves up to that extent. We have to address this poor work culture. Teamwork is to be cultivated, and we have conflicting priorities. We should have some consensus. For having consensus also, you should have some type of understanding first. Unfortunately, I don't appreciate what my colleague does, and what my colleague does, I don't appreciate. This is, we need to have, what do you call this, academic audit at every stage. We have to reduce this type of subjectivity in our operations, and we have systems, but they are not in place. Well, many issues have been addressed, and I think if we, what all has been deliberated in the morning, in the afternoon, if they are documented, it's going to come up as a wonderful note to AICTE with some type of suggestions from our end. The focus should be on strengthening the systems. Focus should be on bringing some uniformity. I think there are some initiatives that have been in the direction of bringing out a uniform syllabus. Uniform syllabus. In a country, vast country like India, having a uniform syllabus and a uniform admission criteria, all these things do not work. One of our friends was saying that our intake, ISET has been formulated after a lot of deliberations. Purposefully, they did not include these group discussions in interview as part of screening exercise. The idea is, if you do that, not many people will be getting and people, particularly in the rural areas, they will not be getting any type of benefit. So we have social obligations, we have the commitments, and in view of all this, we have to march ahead, and it is necessary that only networking and teamwork will pay in the long run. So with these observations, we would like to invite our Dr. Acharya to propose vote of thanks. Before he proposes vote of thanks, any questions are there? Any issues are there? Anybody would like?
Just one point I would like to point out here is the consequences of mushroom growth of MBA colleges. Just now I just was talking to the professor and they told that JNTU also is going to give permission to 100 engineering colleges to float MBA programs. Already we are finding dearth of faculty, and we don't have placements for the students. And if we increase the number of colleges, what is the fate of management graduates? And what would be the fate of the course itself? If MBA is also like any other course, and if it is not able to provide placement, naturally parents will have a lot of hopes on the students, because the moment they do MBA, they think that they will get job, they will get settled. But if these people, all professionals, all these people are either having an engineering degree or some other degree, and once after spending so much of time on education, and if they are not able to get jobs, you imagine the social unrest. So how are we going to address this social unrest in the society? And quality of education. In fact, education should be rendered as a service. Most of the people, either you think of missionaries or other institutions, they always thought education as a service. So there was no profit motive. But unfortunately now, management education is not taken up as a service, but as a profit-oriented organization. The investment opportunity rather. So if the objective is to get back the investment made, so naturally the strategies they follow also different. But there are certain exceptions. Some good colleges, some good engineering colleges. In fact, CVR College, Professor Masoon Reddy is here. There are some good engineering colleges which have established very good infrastructure, good faculty, and they are doing this service. So we should look for such institutions which can really increase the image of the course. And my sincere advice to the institutions is also that, like we all studied in normal schools, JP High School, like those schools, we've always had high regard for teachers, and teachers used to give the best. So what the current management institutions should also do, they should provide the best curriculum, and teachers should also provide the best inputs. Don't expect anything. But on the other hand, college, don't try to know, give lower salaries to people. You provide the skills. If you require money, you put up the proposal to the industry. See, we are providing education to the students. But unfortunately, like Professor Seymour was telling, how can we sustain? Either the university should increase, allow the college to increase the fees, or at least you calculate what is the total cost incurred for running the course and what is the revenue generated. This deficit should be provided by the industry. If you can really put forward the proposal, I think industry will come forward because they are helping the student community, and they can also claim it as a tax deductible expenditure. So you have to look for strategies to sustain with this mushroom growth of MBA colleges. Thank you for that.
I am very happy to see this type of arrangement that has been brought on. From this I can understand that you are working towards collaboration and competition. Because everybody will be interested in attracting the students to their respective colleges, and collaboration because we are interested in not mutually developing each other. So in this angle, I would like to request our sponsors, our collaborators who have done this great work. So to have one common newsletter, so which you can share, whichever information you can share, you can distribute to all the colleges, which can be disseminated what you feel, and put all the colleges on a mailing list, including my college. That is, I am from. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I am Mohan Rao. I am from Vishweshwan Institute of Systems and Management. I would like you to put my college and other similar colleges on the mailing list, which will be helpful for us to develop such type of things. And recently, I come across the AICTE newsletters. They are also circulating some good guidelines, which was very highly appreciated. I think you must have also seen such type of newsletters, such type of circulars for the AICTE has done it. And apart from AICTE, even our colleges also does it. I think it will be very helpful. This is what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Vote of thanks on behalf of organizing committee of this roundtable on challenges of managing business schools, issues and perspectives. I thank the chief guest of the day, Swami Dr. Parthasarathy, for his presence and insightful address. I thank Professor A. Ramchandra Reddy, Vice Chancellor, Yogi Berra University, for consenting to be the guest of honor and presiding over the session. I thank Padma Shri Professor Pritam Singh for his presence and valuable remarks this morning. I thank Professor R.K. Mishra, Director IPE, Professor T.K. Bandyopadhyaya for their delightful presence and making insightful remarks. I thank Professor Ravi Kumar for gracing this occasion and enlightening all of us with his thoughts. I thank Professor S.N. Sharma, Head of the Department of Osmania University, Business Management, for his valuable remarks. I thank Sri Sarath Saurabh and Sri Murali Krishna Reddy from the industry for sharing their experience. I thank Professor R.S. Sri for chairing the session and making the session so active. Our thanks are due to Sri M.L. Sai Kumar, Professor Madhusudan Rao Garu, Professor Jayakar, Professor G. Venkateswamy for their valuable remarks. I take this opportunity to extend our thanks to one and all who have come for this event and made it a grand success. Thank you all.